Hello and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns. Welcome to episode, 98? Okay, I'm not sure if that's correct actually, because I was looking through my playlist. I put all of the Babbles Yarns podcasts on one playlist, which you can totally go back on and watch from the start. And sometimes I think they're doubled up, but it says there's 100 videos on there. And I'm like, anyway, let's just go by what my imagination terrible number keeping says. So 98, I have 2 more till 100. Oh my gosh! We'll have to have a huge giveaway. Massive. I don't do them very often because I find them quite difficult to organise. So that's gonna be huge. Make sure you subscribe and you like, and make sure that you're in it to win it. Anyway, who am I? I'm Grace. I am an Irish knitter, weaver, spinner, travelling person, general crafty fibre goodness person. And it's the 24th of August 2019. It is sticky and warm, and that's why I have this like really light top on, but it's making me like really white down here, which is offsetting all the rest of the colours. Oh, but it's too hot to have anything else on, and I can't find my nice linen thing. Oh, hang on. Let's put on this net. Oh, that's white as well, Grace. Ah! I'm trying to like find something to offset the balance, colour balance here. Maybe this is cotton. I wove it. I knit it in Australia when I was in Australia. So maybe we'll just pop that on and I'll see how warm it'll be. This is the Budding Bluebells shawl by Mina Phillip, actually. And it's one of her earlier designs, and it's absolutely gorgeous. See that grey? This is one of the shawls I've actually finished. Every other shawl is generally, I think I've only finished maybe 3 shawls. And then these are samples that other knitters have made for me, which is really nice. Does that balance the colours out a bit? Oh my god, it's way too hot. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with the colours. I'm going to open the window. That's done nothing. So I'm based in Ireland, and summer in Ireland is basically just hot and wet. It's around probably 20 degrees and sticky, and it's going to rain today with all the sticky, misty, raininess, and it's like... But that's why Ireland's so green, because it rains all the time, which is great. No drought, very fertile land. It's lovely. I appreciate it. Still though, I'm sticky and I don't like it, and we don't have air conditioning because it's really only hot for a couple of weeks. So welcome to my channel. That's 3 minutes of rabbiting. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this link. Hello, how are you? Good morning or afternoon or evening or night, wherever you're watching this in the world. I have viewers from everywhere. It's really exciting. I love it. I travel vicariously through your comments. Do let me know where you're coming from. We're saving money at the moment, so I can't go traveling as much as I want. Although we are going to be in Perth, Australia in January, so... Well, that's a pretty good traveling, but it's for my brother is getting married, so that's nice. So what are we going to talk about today? I have a little list. So I again, not been knitting, not feeling the knitting in the heat. I think just the idea of having heavy things on my lap is like, I love thinking about knitting, but like not actually doing it, which is fine. I think a lot of people go through that kind of slump when in the warmer weather, whether it's in like your warmer weather is in January or whether your warmer weather is in June or July. You know, everybody kind of goes through that kind of, I don't want to be knitting. Knitting for some reason seems, knitting maybe crochet not so much. If you're crocheting with wool, probably, but if you're knitting, there's something kind of warm about it, and I just don't want to. I've been knitting a pair of socks. I'll show you those actually. They're in this gorgeous little bag by Hide and Hammer, which is my little Viking style bag, where I don't know if they had these clasps in Viking times. They probably just had loops that they stuck on, but you can put it on your belt. So you can just attach it here and you can just knit away. And yeah, everyone's really jealous whenever I wear it because they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, are you jealous? That's sad for you. So I got this at Woolen, and it is oil canvas and then recycled leather. I've spoken before about how I'm not really that keen on skin, but the way that New actually has her practice, it's all off kind of cuts, and it's all kind of stuff that is recycled a lot of the time. So and she uses every single bit of it, and it is probably one of the best things that isn't plastic based, that is actually hard wearing, long lasting and waterproof. So I'm kind of like, environmentally yes, animals no, but that's a balance I'm happy. And also I love New, I love her products. This is Hide and Hammer. Do you have your little thingy on here now? Hide and Hammer. This is her logo just here. And it's fab. It's a lovely little bag. I fold down the top a little bit. I have all my little stitch markers here from Woolen. These are the Irish phrase stitch markers from Yarnistry. Cack. Jesus. And Jesus and cack are kind of Dublin phrases. I mean, I'm just saying. Every county has a different saying. We're too old. This country's too old. We have different sayings in every 20 miles down the road. So I am knitting with some Arnie and Carlos Regia in the Summer Night colorway, which is very accurate. I think it's Summer Night. I think this definitely is Summer Night. It's beautiful. I'm knitting these for, gosh, I hope it fits her now, for James's mum. So these are kind of like going to be hopefully a Christmas present. Oh, they're so cute. I did a kind of a wonky mashup of heel patterns. I did the garter stitch kind of mini gusset that Mina does, but I kind of put in my own. I did a German short row heel. I'm not sure if that's exactly the same as the pattern, but I was going for it, so I just did it. So yeah, but it's based on Mina's 2 at a time sock pattern, and with her mini gusset kind of adjustments, so you get a little mini heel flap, so it extends out the distance between the arch and the heel, so it's a nice big space, so that's good. These are small socks. I cast on I cast on 64 stitches, or maybe 60 stitches because she's a smaller foot than I do. They're still going as slowly as ever because I don't really get a chance to knit very often. I don't get that feeling to knit. I knit inside and work, or I knit in like air conditioned spaces, like in a car or something. But we've not been doing much traveling because James has actually hurt his toe, so he can't drive. So we've not been driving anywhere. And like, I've been doing all the driving, so I can't knit while I'm driving because, you know, that's probably illegal. Is it? It is illegal. Don't do that. I did not advise driving and knitting at the same time. So that's kind of my ongoing sock project. Ta-da! But what I have been doing is I've been spinning up a storm for myself and Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast, actually, who designed that sock heel, have been hosting the Spin and Make Along since April. Is that right? It finishes up in October or November, so you still have loads and loads of time. So what's involved? Well, basically you spin intentionally and then you make something out of the yarn that you've spun, instead of having it hanging on your wall or in a shelf just looking at you for years. So it's kind of like intentional spinning. Have a little bit of a plan. Like the plan can change, it's fine. So spin your own yarn and knit with the yarn that you've spun. There's some incredible projects going up. I love seeing them all. They're so inspiring, because I think the challenge with hand spun is that, you know, it's not exactly the right weight. You might not exactly have the right yardage required. Like, are there patterns which you can adjust to suit the lengths of the yarn that you've spun? Now, so I love seeing all these kind of ideas coming through. One of the girls in my knit group, Magda, she's learning how to spin, and her spinning is incredible, but she's like, so like, what exactly can I make with this? And I'm like, listen, you have to just kind of go with it a little bit. And she's like, oh. I think it's sometimes people with very specific, you know, I need to follow this instructions, I need to have this much exactly. It can be challenging because it might not work out like that. You might have too little or too much. And there's something about having too much hand spun that freaks me out, because I'm like, I'm after spinning this whole thing. I'm going to use the entire thing, you know. So yeah, it's really inspiring seeing all these people, kind of what patterns they're using and everything. I'm currently stuck on my pattern. So I have got 4 skeins, which are all balled up. I balled them up at knit night. So there's a blue to brown, another blue to brown, but like a little bit more kind of yellowy in the middle, a blue to purple to brown, and then this kind of purple kind of random skein which didn't have a gradient. That's pretty. So all of these are going to go into a project, but I just don't know what project, you know. Just not sure. Let me just get a nice little screenshot for you there now. Nice little screenshot. So cute. So my plan is to, I want to knit a cardigan. I don't want a jumper, I want a cardigan. I want to use helical knitting to knit all these 3 together at the same time. So I'll get like fade all the way down. Now I'll probably start with these blues and then add in this darker blue as it fades down, and it probably will interfere here. I might stop knitting with this one and move, you know, like I might shake it up a little bit. So we'll see how we go on that. Yeah, so I'm kind of stuck for, I need a top down in the round garment, and I'm going to cut it, I'm going to steek it, and I'm going to knit all the button bands, the wrist cuffs and the ends in this. So the main body and the main sleeves should be these. Now if I run out, I'll obviously use the other one. But yeah, so that's my plan. Yeah, so I need a, I mean, actually I should stop looking in the cardigan. I should look at the jumpers. I should look at the jumpers that I already have in my what I've already knit. I've knit the So Faded. I think I could totally just use that pattern and just steek it up the front. I might do that. Or the pavement sweater. I think the pavement sweater comes across a little bit too much there, maybe. I don't know. But that's my plan. And also it doesn't have ribbing or, you know, a big, like you'd have to start off on the contrast, which I did originally on the pavement. Anyway, I'd like to have the option to do that last. If it doesn't work, that's fine. You know, if I've made it all and then it doesn't really make sense, then that's grand. I have another skein of purple, which this would go really nice with for something else, like a woven project or something. And then of course there's also the fact that I could weave this, but I want to knit something, I think. Yeah, so I'm working on, this is my next week, my next knitting project, and it's part of my spin and make along. So there's a spin and make along, the details of it are in my group and in Mina's group on Ravelry. We have podcast groups over there. You can, oh, I forgot to mention, you don't have to be a spinner, but you do have to be knitting with hand spun. So if you're not spinning the yarn all yourself, you have to buy some hand spun. Or if you've got some hand spun that's been gifted to you, then that will be totally fine as well. So so yeah, you don't have to be a spinner, you don't have to have a wheel, you don't have to know how to spin, that's totally fine. You can get some, and there's plenty out there. What else was I going to say? We've got a number of amazing prizes. I've got some fibre in there of mine. I've got some hand spun of mine for prize. We also have John Arbin have donated 500 grams of any of their tops range. Yeah, and you can mix up the different colours if you want. I've got some stunning John Arbin stuff. Oh God, I really want to spin that as well. But anyway, let's not think about that just yet. You know, when these things pop into your head and you're like, no. So yeah, there's a number of really fabulous prizes. I've also got some really beautiful pins from Hey Brownberry, Mars of Hey Brownberry podcast. So they're these stunning, really hefty pins, like sweater on board, socks on board. So these are actually in her shop right now if you don't want to wait. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're like, and they've got these, look at the back of it, like that's a solid piece of kit, like that's nice. So you've got 2 pins there, so you've double safety there now. So yeah, I love these. Oh, they're so well made. They're really gorgeous. And I love the backing pins that she has on there. So I've got some of those in the prize pack as well. And I've got some of my pins in the prize pack as well. These are my little Babbles Yarns pins. And these are also in my shop, actually. Oh no, my shop is on holidays. Right, okay, never mind. But if you do want one, do send me a message and I will send that out to you. They are, I can't remember the price of them. I think they were around €8. And all proceeds from these go to a charity of my choice. And my current charity is Limerick, which is helping, they deal with the homeless population and also people who are transitioning from refugee status to Irish kind of living, Irish culture living. So yeah, that's my current charity. So if you're interested in one of these, you can send me an email at grace@babblestravelingyarns.com, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. And my Instagram is Vanawillemiel or Babbles Yarns, but I'm on Vanawillemiel the whole time. So yeah, you can find those details just down below. Thanks very much. So the next thing, so last weekend I went to Craggaunowen, and you might have seen my little ASMR type relaxing video. It was kind of a more atmospheric video. I wasn't really talking that much in it. It's just a lovely place, a lovely space to be. It's called Craggaunowen, the Living Past, and it has lots of different stages of people who live, like Irish archaeological. It's an Irish archaeological site where they have found a number of things. They've also rebuilt a number of things. So there's a castle on site, a medieval castle on site. There's also, I think they built the Craggaunowen, which is a type of housing. It's a ring fort, but it's actually made in a lake, and it's a defensive position. So they actually made the Craggaunowen. They made it, they rebuilt it, and they have 2 rooms in there, a little bridge over. There wouldn't have traditionally been a bridge. There would have been a secret kind of a stepping stones, but you'd have to know the way across. You know, the stones would have been hidden underneath the lake, the water. So you'd have to know where they were to get across. And there's also a lovely ring fort. There's a reproduction of the Brendan voyage ship, which apparently is when some Irish monks sailed across to the Americas. So some Irish monks, there was like a big story written about when Brendan sailed across the ocean, and he met some whales, and there was lots of little islands that he went to, and yeah, it was all, yeah. So they remade the ship itself. That's not in the video, actually. I didn't go down there, but it is in last year's video. We go out for spinning and textile day every year to Craggaunowen, and it's just such a lovely space. So there was a drumming circle that I took part in, which was lovely. Oh, it's just lovely. Yeah, it's a really lovely place if you're ever in County Clare. It's a little bit off the beaten track, so you do have to have a car to get there, but it is well worth it. It's a fabulous place. Yeah, so when I was there, I was spinning away. I was spinning some Romney, some silver Romney. I spoke about it last week actually, but I didn't bring enough to go ahead with. So what I did was I spun up, I did bring some of these incredible Rolags, merino. This is Fellview Fibres Wormhole Rolags or Poonies, and it's 100 grams worth. And they are, oh, stunning. What's in them? Merino, baby alpaca, tussa silk, trilobal, and Angelina. And so I think there was 6 or 7 of these in the pack. Oh my gosh, I bought a whole lot. Not gonna lie, a load. So these Rolags have like a dark on either side and a white center, or a pale blue center. So I was spinning, I just started spinning them, you know, just to have something to spin. And then I was thinking, oh my, this has to be a woven project because it's going to fade from black to light blue, black to light blue, like, you know. So this is how it's spinning up on my spindle. There's a little bit of glitter in there. So it's going to be a warp. Oops, sorry. Crinkly. And so I pull them out just like this. Mina taught me how to do that. So smart. I'm getting really fine detail. That's fab. Yeah, so I'm having so much fun with these. These are so beautiful. Let me get another little screenshot there now. So yeah, they're so cute. They're lovely. So I've got 100 grams of that. I don't know what I'm going to use as the warp. Something. I'll find something. Don't worry guys, I'll find something. I got this. So all that just goes in there, and I put the I'm probably very bad for taking it off the wheel. Nah, it's fine. I only have, like, I have 2 wheels now. I have this electric wheel and the my Traveller. But yeah, I don't mind taking it off and putting them back on again. Like, I'm not very specific when it comes to that sort of thing. So oh yes, I forgot to show you my finished. This is my finished skein of Bookworm Crafts in the Alice colorway, and it is absolutely, this is probably, this skein is something that I have been almost scared to produce because I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it, right? But I have been watching Shelly Morales on Instagram, and all of her skeins, I don't think she particularly thinks very carefully about her color placement. She just strips it down and spins, and they come out so beautiful, fully barber pole. Now that could be me saying, like she does a lot of, she's an incredibly gifted spinner. She does a lot of like chain ply, and she does a lot of, I think she does everything. But the ones that I've been looking at that I find that are spectacular are these kind of a barber pole random color blends. So they're stunning, stunning. I don't know how much is in this actually. I think it's a DK weight. A DK, sport to DK. I'm always either sport fingering or sport DK. Like that, I don't really have a very large range. I generally always come out with the same weight no matter what I'm trying to do. I was trying to spin this a little bit thicker because I was just really enjoying the colors, the color changes. And yeah, it's fab. This is Rambouillet, which is a French merino, and it is just beautiful. Like, look at it. Cute, and it's so bouncy and soft and squishy, like really lovely. This feels really sturdy, you know, sturdy. Like, I don't think this is going, this doesn't feel like it's going to, it probably will pill now, but it is very high twist. That was on purpose. I did a really, really high twist on it, just like Shelly Morales, because I want to be you, Shelly. Because it just looks so good. My little my little skein. And I bought these skeins off of Bookworm Crafts down in Cork, down at the West Cork Yarn Festival. And I chose them on purpose, being like, I just want something random. I don't want to be like, I've done loads of gradients. I love doing gradients because they weave up spectacularly. But I just kind of wanted to do crazy colours and all over the shop. And here we are. Love it. I've got another kit from her, but I don't know where it is actually. Alright, it's somewhere. I think it might be in that fresh hell of a box, which I haven't taken out since last weekend. So that is one of my hand spuns that I finished. Yeah, so now we'll go on to weaving. So you may have seen this one a couple of weeks ago, and I'm loving it, but I'm scared to cut into it because, I'll show you. You see how, I don't know, it's just, I feel like I need to wash it first, and I'm scared that when I wash it, something is going to happen, which happened to my lovely tartan, which I put my heart and soul into. In my tartan, all of the threads kind of moved around a little bit. Now, you know, it is very sturdy now, like they're not moving anymore, but they did move. I threw it into the washing machine and I threw it into the dryer. They did move. And that's fine. I've come to terms with it, but I really don't want this one to move because it's so pretty. So like, I'm not going to be throwing it into the washing machine when I'm wearing it, you know, but because it's a warp faced yarn, it is a DK weight. I think it's I think it's a DK weight yarn on the warp up and down, and it's a lace weight across the weft. So you can see that it's mostly warp faced, most of the, you know, but I wonder, will it move? Yeah, it will move a little bit, you see. So yeah, to be honest, I don't know if washing it is actually going to felt it, because this is superwash yarn and it's an acrylic weft. It's, yeah, superwash warp and an acrylic weft. So the acrylic is not going to felt. The superwash won't either, but it probably will move, you know, so I'm scared. And it's just so pretty and silky and soft and nice, and I don't want to ruin it, you know. I've got a lot here. So what I was thinking about doing was making a short version of this dress. I think the yarn that I have will probably go down to about here. I have the paperwork here. I bought this off Etsy. This is Get Weaving GWDR002. That is the pattern. And it's basically, you cut it out like this, and then there's 2 cotton facings for the neck. I don't have the cotton that they're looking for, so I need to do that. And I think I might need to, I just need to get out my ironing board. And I was thinking about just doing it, because I've been watching, who is it, Andy McKnight, I think, on Instagram. She is a rigid heddle weaver over in the States, and she's talking, like, she does all of her garments from the rigid heddle looms. She hand stitches everything, and I kind of love that idea, because the idea of getting out my sewing machine is like, ugh, the effort. And if I could just do it like on the couch, like, that'd be lovely. Slow, but you know, at least it would get done. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the idea of having a big loom, but it having to have a separate room, and I have to go out there and do it and set it up. I know a lot of people who have a big loom and a rigid heddle loom, and they weave more on the rigid heddle loom because it's portable, it's small, it's on their lap, they can do it anywhere. They can bring it into the kitchen, they can go to the, you know, they can bring it in the car, you know, whereas the loom is the big loom is like the big loom. And it's the same for a sewing machine. If you have to like set up the sewing machine or have space for the sewing machine or have it out all the time, you know. And I know it's a little bit more portable than a massive like floor loom, but like not really. Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, my next project is going to be just sewing that together. So I just need to get time to get the ironing board out and press on the interfacing, cut it out, and then whip stitch around the top, around the cut edge, and then get some cotton. I think I've got some cotton. I've got some fat quarters, which I can totally use. So yeah. So yeah, that's my next project. That's that. Just need to get time to do that. Today I'm heading into my sister. She does food tours in the Limerick Milk Market. She goes around and she, I think it's incredibly low price at the moment. I'm gonna have to get her to raise her prices because it's worth, like, you come out stuffed. The amount of food that you eat, stuffed, like. So she's gonna have to raise her prices. They're incredibly low at the moment. I think it's only €25. So if you are coming to Limerick, if you're stopping by even just for the day, she has 2 tour groups, I think. One of them goes at like 9, one of them goes at 11 or 11:30. You can see it on their website. It's Chocklin, www.chocklin.ie, and they're part of Fáilte Ireland, and they've got lovely support, but they're still kind of growing. So if you are visiting Limerick, if Limerick isn't on your tour route, you're missing out. We've got a lot, but it's not on the typical tour route of Ireland. You know, normally the tour route goes, you know, you fly into Dublin, you maybe go to Newgrange, or you go into Dublin City for a while, for a couple of days, into Temple Bar, and see the Book of Kells, maybe the Guinness factory, and they're all great, they're lovely. And then, or St. Patrick's Cathedral, that's also nice. And then you either go straight down to Killarney or Kilkenny. You go probably Kilkenny, Killarney, and then Killarney is kind of Kerry. And then you go, often they drive up to Kerry and then skip Limerick completely by getting the boat from Tarbert over to Clare, and then you go to Cliffs of Moher up to Galway, or you just drive straight by on the bypass and you miss Limerick completely and you go straight up to, so it's kind of Killarney, straight up to Ennis, straight up to Galway, you know, via the Cliffs of Moher. And it's just a shame because we've got a fabulous, vibrant city, but I think we're not very good at telling people about it. We're really bad at like blowing our own horn. We've got a very young population. We've got 2 art colleges and 3. We've got the University of Limerick and the Limerick Institute of Technology as well. And they've got the fashion. I suppose actually I think it's all one art college. But like there's the fashion college and then the kind of fine arts college, and loads of bars, loads of markets going on. Like it's a really vibrant city, and especially on Saturdays. Saturdays is the best day to visit Limerick, and if you're popping through, you should definitely get a tour from my sister. I'll hook you up. You might see me in there because the market is fab, and I always go in to get my mushrooms and my seaweed. Get my iodine and my iron. So I'm going to be heading in there at about 11:30. I'm going to be taking some photos for her, some promotional stuff. So that'd be nice. A little family affair. And I'll get fed to the gills as well. So yes, where was I? Oh yes, I stayed up last night. Not too late. I've been good. I won't curse it, but I've been quite good at going to bed early. Shh, I've jinxed it now. Oh no. So what am I talking about? This is the last little bit that I haven't been able to use. So I started weaving, I warped this up for the Tullamore show actually, just as a demonstration piece, and I used a skein of Rowan yarn which was gifted to me by, I think it was by, oh, I can't remember who gifted this to me. Thank you so much. It's absolutely stunning. So it's Rowan Fine Art fingering yarn. Can't find the label, not very organized with that. Sorry. It's like a greeny with blues and greys and dark green, light green, fab. Yeah, so I warped it up and I started weaving with this light grey, which I just had lying around. It was like a leftover. And then I realized like it's really killing all the colors. Like you can't really see these beautiful greens and blues. And you know I'm a big fan of the greens and the blues. So then I started using some tealy colors. So I started using this as the weft, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, it's all right, but like that's really pretty. It is really pretty, but I think it's still not quite like, I don't know, it would have been absolutely gorgeous to do the whole thing in that, but I had found this other skein of yarn, which was a yarn that I got in Thailand almost 4 years ago. I was in Chiang Rai up in northern Thailand, and I was just about to head across the border to Laos, and I was wandering around. I had like a day in this city before I got the next bus. And what did I do? Only I searched for yarn shops on Google, and it took me to this kind of haberdashery place, and the whole place was absolutely packed to the gills with like acrylic cotton yarns. And I think this yarn that I ended up using didn't feel like cotton or acrylic so much as this kind of as this yarn. This is the other yarn that I got, this kind of turquoisey teal. That feels very, very acrylic-y. But the yarn that I got, that I ended up getting, was this. It feels woolly, you know. I might do an old burn test just to see what it is. I can't. It was in Thai, so I don't know. So this is the yarn that I had, and it's a lace weight again. Oh no, maybe not. It might be a fingering weight. I think it looks like a fingering weight in this project. Anyway, so I finished my little kind of demonstrating project. I was actually like, I don't want anyone to demonstrate on this. I'm in love with this so much. I don't want anyone else to touch it but me. How mean is that? So this is my fall nicer. There you go. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm in love with it. So both of these skeins were variegated. Now the Rowan hand painted is not hand painted because it was like exactly two lines of green, 2 lines of dark green, 2 lines of blue, 2 lines of dark green, 2 lines of green. Do you know, like that's a machine. A machine did that all the way up and down. So there was like long strands. So effectively I had like a 3 or 4 stripe up and down. And then this kind of variegated, but also machine made, like definitely machine dyed. It's just stunning, like. And look at the whole thing all the way down. It's really beautiful, like. I've stopped saying like. It came out a tartany type thing. Like, so I'm so happy with this. I think I probably will throw this in the wash. Just to seal up. You see the way it's kind of see-through. I did weave it quite tightly, so I think it won't move too much. I wove right to the end on this one, so and then I weave it right back and I cut it off. I have a little video of me weaving it, so I might include that just here. So yeah, I've got this long little fringy section from when that's actually the very end of the fringe, the very end of it. Like that's where it was rolled around the border, that rolled around the apron bar at the end. And then this one here, I actually took out three or four strips across, 4 warps across, and I used that thread to bind off. You need about four lengths of the width to hem stitch the bottom. So I have a couple of ideas for this one. I might make a it's a perfect scarf length. It's actually a lovely scarf, and it might be nice for maybe James's dad or my dad. My dad doesn't really wear scarves though. Maybe he does, I don't know. I like it. Oh, it's just so pretty. But what also would be lovely is if I made a t-shirt out of it with this as the center portion. I'm just going to get the book actually. The book had one of these patterns in it, which is fab. So I could do something out of this book, Get Weaving, which is the same author of that other pattern. So it's Sarah Howard and Elizabeth Kendrick. So I think I might do this one. This one would be nice in it. So to find it. Yes. It's quite lovely, isn't it? Yeah, so I just need to get fabric like this. What does it need? So it's requesting like a linen fabric. Okay, so you sew the linen fabric to your woven fabric and then cut it out. So you sew that extra bit on like this, and then you fold it in half, and then you cut out the pattern from that. Oh, I see. So it's like a piecing. Then how did you do the arms? Oh, there's no information on how to do the arms. Cut strips of linen fabric on the bias to finish the neck, sleeve and hem edges. I don't know how to do that. Tell me these things. Yeah. I think they expect too much of me, to be honest. But it's an interesting idea. Cut strips of linen fabric on the bias to finish the neck, sleeve and hem edges. But like, how do you do the sleeve? Where's the sleeve information? Oh, it's like asking me to just find a pattern. Like another pattern. So this is not the pattern. Oh, I see. But your paper sewing pattern. So I have to find a pattern for a t-shirt, and then that's like a hack, I think. Okay. I wanted the book to tell me everything. I'm lazy. So this is the fabric just round. Oh no, it's not really actually. That's the hem there. So that is the length of the fabric doubled over, and then that is the length of the fabric quartered. I could do like a crop top, crop top. But actually I could make two, couldn't? Oh no, I couldn't really, because I think the pattern goes all the way up to there and it takes like that much. So yeah, that's fine. I'd have enough and left over. I have this thing about I want to use all of it. I hate the idea of like having some left over. It wrecks my head. I could make a proper dress out of it actually. Like that's the length there. I step back farther. Can you see that's my, hang on. So that's my neck. And that's, like, it's a bit of a short dress, but it's like a tunic. I could make a tunic dress or something. Anyway, so that's a little piece of fabric there now. I can make a children's dress or just leave it as a scarf because it's so cute. It is nice. It is very, very nice. Oh, I love when I could fold it into bits. So I just do. That's how you weave in an end. You basically weave, that's two ends overlapping by a couple of stitches, warp threads. So you weave the rest of the yarn in and then you just like flick it out the bottom, and then you start your next one and you flick a little bit out the bottom when they overlap, just a little bit, and you just trim them off and that's it, woven in. And that's all done while you're weaving. So yeah, I did a little bit of hand sewing then. I had this little strip of like this wide in this color. So what I did was I folded it in half and yeah, I folded it in half and just sewed up the sides. I folded over the top there and just made little kind of channels, and I think I'll just crochet a little thing. And it's a little bag for somebody, and you can either turn it inside out or leave it with the fringy bits out. Reversible. It's cute. Of course I made a mistake there, because it's always at the start of the weaving where you're making your mistakes. Oh well. And actually on the other side I made a mistake as well, but I don't know if you can see it. I don't think I can see it. Oh yeah, here. Just here. I skipped a few. And I could fix it before I sewed it, but like, it was only a little scrap piece. So it's a little bag of something. Actually, this could be like a little bottle, a little cup holder. Have around your neck. Crochet a little thing. I don't know. So yes, that is pretty much everything I've made this week. So yeah, basically my finished makes are these. I've been thinking a lot about other stuff. Yeah. So I want to just talk a little bit about, what else did I need to talk about? Oh my goodness. Have you seen the mugs that Remembrances Pottery is making of Mr. Beans and Miss Toast? They're perfect. They're perfect. Get it? So she's making them at the moment, and hopefully everything goes okay, and they should be for sale at my my 2 October Babbles retreats in Ballyglass Country House in Tipperary in Ireland. So that is taking place, the 2 events are taking place, one on each Saturday, concurrent Saturday, so the 19th, and then on the 26th of October. So yeah, I'm currently working out all the vendors for both of those events. There's going to be all different vendors at both of them, so you could come to both and you'd see different things. I know they're one after the other, but it's just so nice to have be able to have more people to vend, so, and it has more space as well for people. I think there might be a few rooms still available. Check out the website and see if you can see anything that's available. Yeah, so that is going to, it's so exciting. I can't wait to see. I'll put up some pictures here so you can see, or I will have put up some pictures there so you can see. I think now my loom is empty, so I've got an idea. So now that I'm an ambassador for Sweet Georgie Yarns, which is so exciting, I have a new reason to pick up this skein of yarn that I bought at Edinburgh Yarn Festival from a yarn story in Bath. This is Sweet Georgia Cashlux Spark in the colorway Silver. This is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere and 10% silver stellina. 420 yards. 384 meters per 4 ounces or 115 grams. So is this 115 grams then? Cool. So I kind of want this to go with this. 2 sparkles. These have been put together in my stash for about 2 years. It is time. The time has come for these to be something. And I was going to actually put these into some of the new kind of, there was a crochet pattern. There is a crochet pattern coming out, which I have my heart set on. But it's not coming out until like September. And I'm like, oh, I want to use these now. So keep an eye out for those. But thinking about making a houndstooth pattern out of these. Do I have my houndstooth pattern now? Yeah. Come on. Come on, everybody. Aha. So this is a houndstooth pattern that I made out of Doulton Border Leicester yarn. And I think this was a DK weight version, and this would be an incredible fingering weight, silvery goodness. It'd be such a nice little pattern for like Christmas, winter time. Oh, I think it has to happen. My loom is empty. My baby is empty. How can it be empty? So this is Isis Fibre Arts. I can't remember the colorway. I had taken it out and cast it on for a shawl by Marsha Fairy Little Knits, but I pulled it out because it wasn't quite working the way I wanted it to. You couldn't see the pattern in this dark yarn. I think that was the problem. And it's been in this ball ever since, and I need to use it. And I need to use it with this. So they're 2 Canadian yarns. This is Isis Fibre Arts and this is Sweet Georgia. So they have to go together. They belong together. Look at the sparkles! Oh, I just have to. I have to. Can't wait. The detail that she goes into in the School of Sweet Georgia is unbelievable. She's a natural teacher. So I'm currently learning about Procyon dyes and dyeing non-protein based yarns. What are they called? Non-protein is like, no, I don't know what they're called. Cellulose fibers, that's it, cellulose fibers, sorry. So yeah, so I have got a ton of nettle yarn and cotton yarn that I really want to, like hand spun nettle and hand spun cotton yarn that I really want to dye up from a collective of women in India, which they sent me like 10 kgs worth, and I'm like, I love it. And I really want to kind of put it to its, like, really use it to the best of its ability. So I want to learn how to dye it, and this is the best resource. My God, I can't stop watching it. And I go back and I take notes. It's like really detailed, it's fab, but also really approachable. So that's currently what I'm going through. She talks about a little bit about the chemistry on it, but not like too much. And she's like, listen, if chemistry is not your thing, you can skip this part. And I'm like, give me all of it. It's just such a fantastic resource. I'm so delighted to be able to be kind of taking part in it. So, and there's so much on there. There's knitting, there's crochet, there's dyeing, there's weaving, there's spinning, there's like everything from scratch. If you're interested in learning how to weave, she goes through rigid head looms, she goes through floor looms. she's currently developing the weaving because she's getting back into it herself. She loves the weaving and the spinning as well, which I just love. And yeah, so if you are interested in actually investing in something that is going to, investing in yourself really, because if you are investing in education, you're investing in yourself. So if it's something that like I want to do and move forward, like I want to learn how to dye the fibers from these women in this collective in India, like I want to, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I'm just going to say it because I'd love for it to happen. I want to develop a system where I can buy more from them more regularly and support them. I've also been following this new amazing bye James, he's off to Waterford today. This new amazing kind of Instagram page called Muez Art. They're based in India as well, and I think they're based in the north, and it's basically their Eri silk. Ooh, the veg box, nice. It's the Eri silk farming, and yeah, so Eri silk, what is Eri silk? It is, they wait until the moth has eaten its way out of the cocoon and gone off into the world. So the silk isn't harvested too early. When silk is normally harvested, they get all of the cocoons with the silkworms still in them, and they boil all the silk to kill all the worms inside in the cocoons. Billions of silkworms, like billions. So Eri silk doesn't do that. Now the reason why they do that is to make sure that when the silkworm is eating, when the silk moth is eating its way out of the cocoon, it cuts all the fibers. Obviously, it cuts all the fibers, and you end up with a shorter fiber. So if you kill all the insects in the cocoons, then you'll get longer strands of silk, like incredibly long. But with Eri silk, I don't know, it just feels a bit better. They're also, with Muez Art, they're working directly with the farmers, the Eri silk farmers. They're working directly with women in these villages in India. They're working with spinners, hand spinners, and mill spun as well. And they are working with hand weavers as well. And I love their Instagram because you can see what's actually going on. They're tracking you every day. They've got a team of about 7 on the marketing team, and they've got, she told me the whole thing actually. They're really open and transparent, which I absolutely love. I got a sample of it and it vanished into the mists of time. It's really, like, some of it is really, really fine. I didn't quite understand the sample. You can actually go on and request a sample of what they have. And you can request like spinnable stuff, you know, sliver, or different weights of yarn. And some of it can be hand spun and some of it is mill spun, but it's like the industry standard, so it's like 60 and 2 or 60 and 4 or 60 and 8, I think. And I can't remember what I got. I think I got a 60 and 2, which is like a lace weight. I think 60 and 4, now don't quote me on that though, because I might be totally wrong. Do your own research into that. But yeah, I really want to get a load of that as well and start dyeing that. I know that's a protein fibre, so I can work away with my acid dyes that I have, but I have invested in some Procyon dyes, and I just need to get some, what's that stuff I need to get? Felicia was telling me all about it there now, and I can't remember what it was. Soda ash, that's it. I need to get some soda ash for that, for the cellulose fibre dye. So yeah, I'm gonna find that somewhere and it's gonna be great. So that's what I'm currently going towards. So I've got lots of nice things happening. Today I'm heading into Siobhan to see the to the food tour, to get fed and take some pictures. And I'm going into the Limerick lace exhibition. I think it's called Amazing Lace. It's not just Limerick lace, but Amazing Lace. It's an exhibition in I think it's in St Mary's Cathedral. So that's going to be really exciting. I really want to, so there's lots of different types of lace in Ireland. Ireland was a particularly famous place for lace, and Limerick lace is a type of lace that you get a mesh and you embroider onto it, and you can like pull the mesh open with stitches, and it's beautiful. I'll take some footage actually, and I might include it in this. and I'll show you some of the Limerick lace. I think they'll also have lots of different types. They have like Irish crochet, which is like crochet like they'll crochet lace motifs and then applique them on. And then I think there's clonus lace, and then there's loads of lace, loads of different types of lace. So I'll definitely see what I can get some footage on that, and I'll try and go slowly. I just get so excited, I want to see it all, and I don't want to bore you, which is why I kind of go a bit fast. But I'll try and slow down a little bit. My footage, my filming skills need to slow down. Well, listen, it's been absolutely lovely to have you. Do come again. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you have any questions about anything, please comment below. I'm very quick to answer. Unless I'm working or asleep. And yeah, do get in contact if you want to know anything else. I want to say especially thank you to those people who have contacted me about learning more about eating less meat in their diet. I put up a few stories on my Instagram about the Amazon burning down. And the main reason why the Amazon is burning down is for the highly lucrative cattle industry. So they burn down the Amazon illegally, but nobody does anything because it makes loads of money for the government. And then they plant loads of wheat and soy to feed cattle all around the world. 90% of soy that is imported into the UK is for cattle feed. Over the winter, you know, and kind of things like that. And also they put cattle out on the pastures then, the ranches in Brazil. And there's lots of deals going on with Brexit about where to get their food. Now they can't get it from Ireland because we'll be in the EU and we'll be imposing tariffs. So yeah, there's big deals going on with all of that jazz. So keep an eye where your food is coming from. And if you want to reduce your meat intake, please contact me. I've got a billion links. I've got a list of links that I just send everybody now about like different things you can do, easy swaps. Yeah, a couple of people have contacted me with like specific dietary requirements, and I've been able to help them with ideas for food as well, which is, I think it's just, if you don't think about it, it's not your normal, it's not what you grew up with, so it seems really hard. It's not like it's pound for pound protein. It's grand, like it's fine. But if you are interested, I can help you out with that, no problem whatsoever. Do contact me in whatever way and I will do my best to give you a hand. If you aren't interested, you don't need to harass me about how I'm killing farmers' lives or whatever, you know, I'm killing their industries. I'm not. Farmers have adapted all through history to the needs of the people. Do you know what I mean? Like cattle farming in Ireland has really dropped, and they've moved on to dairy because they've opened up the Chinese industry. The Chinese markets have opened up to Irish dairy, which is hilarious because 98% of Chinese people are lactose intolerant. Anyway, so, you know, farmers adapt. That's fine. It's called business. Farming is a business. If your business is not working out, you need to change lanes. Chickpeas, lads, it's the future. Oats, chickpeas and beans. It's delicious. Anyway, there's my rant. Trying to save the universe. Trying to save the planet. Don't at me. Bye. What's that? What's you got? You good little boy. You good little boy. Yeah. Oh, what's that little noise?